Days after the Biden administration announced a new executive order aimed at gun violence prevention. The order treats gun violence like a disease. But how does that impact us here in the DMV? Our Jacqueline Quinn joins us now. And Jackie, this new initiative allows funding from Medicaid into violence prevention.
Yeah, that almost seems kind of creative, right? But just like an infectious disease, or some people liken violence to a cancer that spreads, violence, as some experts in the health community feel, needs to be examined. Well, what's the root? What does healing look like? But up until now, money to pay professionals in preventing this kind of violence through federal funding just wasn't readily available. So currently only 8 states have a program that uses Medicaid, that's federal funding, for workers involved in reducing gun violence. And it includes Maryland. I was taking a look at the rates here. They're competitive, but it's just these 8 states. So what this new initiative does is essentially the government is making a bigger push, telling local municipalities, you can use this money, you should, to prevent violence. I sat down with the executive director of the Health Alliance for Violence Intervention, who worked to get this signed. She talked to us about how this impacts victims from the hospital, right? She says shooting victims often come in and then they're discharged just like a broken arm, but this kind of trauma is so much more.
And what we are fighting for is to grow these interventions so that they're available in all hospitals where there's a need. And what that would mean is for anyone who's experienced violence, they have robust wraparound care available to them to address the root causes of violence and ensure that they are successful post-discharge.
So this is where someone like a counselor or a mentor may come in, focused on breaking the cycle of violence. And when it comes to violence, as we reported, data shows DC violent crime went down over the first half of this year compared to last year, including homicides, assaults. But in 2023, however, it was a year that we saw crime, or these kinds of crimes, spike. DC had the biggest spike on violent crime of any major city in the United States. So this is something the Alliance tells us that DC could benefit from, this wraparound care for violence in the hospital. They're working on this. This new executive order should help. We'll keep track of this. In studio, I'm Jacqueline Quinn. Back to you.